Headlines for this week include UWL Fashion Week, an ordinance from the La Crosse City Council, and a workshop on the importance of sleep comes to campus. Stay tuned, WMCM's Week in Review is next.
Hello, and thanks for watching WMCM's Week in Review. I'm Aaron Ramthin.
And I'm Quinn Fitzsimons. Drama within the UW system administration as the Board of Regents reveals multiple controversial policies. The board, mainly composed of members appointed by Governor Walker, has recently introduced two new policies that have prompted backlash from the UW community. Administration not long ago presented a plan that would convert 13 UW two-year colleges into branch programs for main campuses. This decision was made with little to no input from faculty and students, which has served to increase already high tensions between UW administration and faculty. The board has also put into effect a policy that requires UW campuses to suspend or expel students involved in multiple disruptive campus protests. Opponents of this policy question its ethicality and adverse effect on Wisconsin students' First Amendment rights.
As the cold weather starts to kick in, be sure to head down to the Greengrass Cafe next Saturday, November 4th, for the 2017 Coulee Region Chili Cook-Off. The 12 UWL students will be competing in the cook-off and representing various groups such as Com Club, the gymnastics team, and Students for Sustainability, and Lambda Chi Eta. The event will take place from 5:30 until 7:30 p.m. at the Greengrass Cafe, 1904 Campbell Road. Admission is only $5, and all of the proceeds will benefit the Coulee Region Humane Society and UWL's very own student-run radio station, RAQ Radio. We hope to see you on November 4th.
It has been 36 days since Hurricane Maria devastated the people of Puerto Rico. The Category 4 hurricane made direct landfall on the island on September 20th and destroyed much of Puerto Rico's infrastructure. 86% of Puerto Ricans are currently without electricity. Hospitals, although functional, are being forced to ration fuel used to power electrical generators, responsible for the lives of thousands of U.S. citizens. President Trump has led a support effort that many are criticizing for being slow to start and sparsely funded. The president has countered these criticisms by citing Puerto Rico's $70 billion debt and geographical location as hindrances to the support effort. Much of the island still has no contact with the outside world, and as a result, the death toll is unknown, but it is estimated to be in the hundreds.
This week for WMCM, we went out to
find Halloween costumes. Look no further. We sent out a WMCM reporter. Check it out.
Goodwill and talk to Tanya Karg, the area team leader, to find out what Halloween costumes are left for you last-minute shoppers.
We are super busy. Like, the whole month of October is Black Friday, but this whole last week is Black Friday times 10.
We asked Tanya what the most popular costume is this year.
I would have to say Spider-Man. Every time I hear a little boy or girl walk through the doors and see a Spider-Man mask, it's always, "Mommy, Spider-Man!" Any superhero for the little kids, otherwise like a witch or a pirate or a ninja, has been real popular as well.
During the interview, we asked Tanya what she was going to be for Halloween.
I'm going to go the witchy route, but I'm going to go with a little hocus pocus flair, because that is my childhood, and I have to honor that somehow. You know, if you're looking for something real simple, all you need is a nice cape, or even a graduation gown, a black one or a red one, and you could be Harry Potter, you could be Superman, whatever. It's so easy to find something here, because we have all these little things. We have a costume consultant, so if you really can't think of anything, even from just like wandering the sales floor, find our costume consultants, and they will be your personal Halloween shoppers. They'll find you accessories, they'll find you whatever you need to put together a great thing, even last minute. We are open Friday and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Sunday we are open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
For WMCM, this has been Johnny Mathaler, Jason Cashman, and Mengzin Kai. Back to you in studio.
Now here's Peter Lentz to talk about the importance of a good night's sleep.
Well, boy, oh boy, it has been quite the Halloween week going up towards the big holiday, and I hope that you guys are looking forward to it because I sure know I am. Well, thanks, Aaron. With the constant stream of activities college life typically brings and the non-stop marathon of looking at screens that life has become, sometimes sleep is the first thing that gets thrown out. If you're one of those people that cuts out sleep on a regular basis, Professor Ryan McKelly's workshop on Saturday might just be the one for you. With his workshop, The Great Protective Factor, Sleep Enhancement, McKelly aims to inform people on the dangers that inadequate sleep can cause. From higher rates of obesity and depression to memory problems and lower attention, Dr. McKelly hopes to show some people that the negatives that can come from all those Saturday night, all-night study sessions. The workshop starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday in room 3310 of the Student Union. For most students, college is a time to learn about yourself and transition into adulthood. For others, like myself, it is a time to slowly come to the realization that I am no longer able to get free candy on Halloween. If you are equally bummed out about that as I am, the lack of candy for college students is a big deal. And if you are thinking that as well, then you might be in luck. You should swing by Reuter Hall from 5 to 7 p.m. on Sunday for some trick-or-treating. If you already have a valid reason to be trick-or-treating, well then I guess you can just stop by to get out of some of this cold Wisconsin weather that we've been having. It sure is bound to be quite the sweet wrap-up to your Halloween weekend. Finally, to those students out there watching us off your phones in a class you really just can't stand, this one's for you. Next Monday, October 30th, is the last day to drop a full semester class and still receive a W. This is important because a W does not affect your GPA, but after Monday, dropping a class will. So think real hard about your classes this semester, and if you can think of any you would rather eat another meal at the Whitney Center than go to, you might want to think about taking the W. Well, hey, that just about does it for us over looking at campus events. Now let's take it back to you, Aaron.
This week is Fashion Week here at UWL, and both students and staff are taking on fashion for academic purposes and seeking to spark conversations about social justice. Issues such as environmental sustainability and racial identities are all being addressed through the perspective of fashion. Fashion Week began this past Monday with a presentation by author Tanisha Ford. Yihab-wearing model Mariah Adrisi led Tuesday's presentation, and yesterday's speaker was Dr. Anupama Parisha. Tonight at 7 in the Student Union's Theater, Oscar Lai will be giving a presentation, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. Fashion Week will conclude tomorrow with the Fashion Symposium. That event will take place from 10 to 5 in Centennial's Hall of Nations. The Cooley Region Humane Society has many pets in need of loving homes. Here's some of the animals available in this week's edition of Perfect Pets.
Hey there, I'm Sienna. I'm an energetic girl who needs a lot of exercise. I'd love to go for a run with you. Hi, I'm Violet. I'm a sweet, gentle 11-year-old girl who's still young at heart. I only have 3 legs, but my heart is twice the normal size.
Well, hey there, I'm Lance. I'm one little guy who just loves exploring. I'd really love to explore my new forever home.
Hello, I'm Mystic. I'm a little shy at first, but when I warm up, I love to play, and I'm looking for my forever owner.
To find out more about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
The Greater La Crosse Area Diversity Council is sponsoring, wouldn't you know it, a week to help promote diversity and cultural understanding. Global Initiatives Week will kick off on Friday, November 3rd at Myrick Park Center with a diversity celebration showcasing foods from various cultures, a multilingual children's story time, and several music and dance performances. The week will continue until November 10th and include multiple events that will teach about different cultures through food, film, clothing, dance, and much more. During the week, multiple local shops will be offering discounts for mentioning Global Initiatives Week, such as Global Grounds Coffee and Iguana's Mexican Street Cafe. You can find a full list of events and participating vendors at the website on your screen. Halloween is a time for corn mazes, pumpkin carving, and haunted houses. A WMCM crew went out to see some of the best options in the area.
The door decorations are going up, the leaves are changing colors, and there's pumpkin spice in the lattes. That can only mean one thing: Halloween is right around the corner. We caught up with the Vice President of ISO to learn more about their organization and to see what they had planned for this holiday.
Okay, ISO is the International Student Organization. Basically, we help international students to get involved in American society and also helping them better understanding the American culture. And also, we want more American students to join us and help international students to better understanding your culture.
They do this by putting on trips and events for all students to attend. And this week it'll be a haunted house.
Okay, so we do a lot of events based on the festival from many countries. We usually do a New Year's festival, and we do a haunted house, which is from Halloween. We also do like events for the Valentine's Day. So for this events, we decided to go to the haunted house for Halloween. So if you want to find something scary and excited to do during the Halloween, you can come to our haunted house events. And it's just $10. Just go to the Eagle lobby and sign up on the sign-up sheet and join us with a fun night.
If you want to join in on the fun, go down to the lobby of Eagle Hall at 6 p.m. Friday, October 27th. In other news, those who work the third shift in La Crosse soon might be able to enjoy some beer at the end of their shift. A new proposal would allow retailers to sell beer and alcohol as early as 6 a.m. Under the current law, businesses are not allowed to sell alcohol until 8 a.m. The bill was proposed by City Councilwoman Andrea Richmond, who hopes the bill will help business and increase convenience for residents. Richmond stated that surrounding communities such as Onalaska, French Island, and Bangor all start selling liquor at 6 a.m., and she believes La Crosse should do so as well. The bill does not, however, affect how late stores can sell alcohol, with hard liquor still ending at 9 p.m. and beer at midnight. A vote by City Council will take place on November 2nd. Each week, the WMCM crew goes out and talks to your fellow peers in a segment we call Campus Insight. This week, we ask students about the best Halloween costume they've ever had. Let's take a look.
All right, guys, what is your best Halloween costume you've ever had?
Well, that'll be this Halloween, as the two of us will be going as penguins.
Well, you see here, we're going to put smiley faces on our shoes, so then the 6 penguins are going to be happy feet.
My best Halloween costume has been a nurse, because that's what I want to be.
My best Halloween costume would have to be actually the one I'm wearing this weekend, which will be Rick from Rick and Morty.
I was Blossom from the Powderpuff Girls.
I played an old man one year, and somebody thought I was a really old man, and I wasn't. I was a woman, and he wanted to like duke me out. I went, no.
It's like a half semi-sexual cop, like not full sexual, but like half.
My best Halloween costume was being a cat.
My best Halloween costume was when I was a bunch of grapes.
Don't sleep on your Halloween costume this year, folks. This has been Julia and Rachel with this week's Campus Insight. Back to you guys in the studio.
Look for the WMCM crew around campus for your chance to have your opinions heard on next week's Campus Insight. And now, here's Kyle Larson with a review of the movie Blade Runner 2049.
Thanks, Quinn. Well, in one of the more highly anticipated films of the latter half of 2017, Denis Villeneuve's Blade Runner 2049 is a sequel to the 1982 film Blade Runner starring Harrison Ford. In this futuristic flick, the ever-advancing technology and the desire for innovation turn dark in Los Angeles. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Every civilization was built off the back of a disposable workforce. But I can only make so many. Happy birthday.
There is an order to things. That's what we do here. We keep order. The world is built on a wall that separates kind. Tell either side there's no wall, you bought a war.
You're a cop. I did your job once. I was good at it. I know. What do you want? I want to ask you some questions. The key to the future is finally unearthed. Bring it to me. They know you're here.
I always told you, you're special. Your story isn't over yet. There's still a page left.
Officer K, played by Ryan Gosling, is sent to find the lone child to be born from a replicant, and his path leads him to finding the original Blade Runner, Deckard, played by Harrison Ford. Officer K and Deckard are ambushed, and while K is left for dead, Deckard is brought to LA to be interrogated by the company that makes the replicants. The movie ties together both new and old characters, all while developing a new twist in the story. Blade Runner 2049 was truly a stunning movie, both in visual elements and story action. The sound effects enhance the suspense and excitement that the intense action that was present throughout the movie, and the computer-generated graphics characters were so realistic and artistic at the same time that it was truly a great experience to view this movie. The story took several twists at unexpected moments and ended with a scene that has science fiction fans buzzing with excitement about a possible third movie in the series. Stay tuned to WMCM. Jordan Jones will be back with this week's weather.
That sounds like a thrilling movie, and I cannot wait to go see it. Now let's get into this weekend's weather. So tonight, it looks like it's going to be 59 and cloudy, as we can see here. So you might want to put those windbreakers on, because it might be a little bit windy too. Tomorrow, we have a little bit of light rain, 44 degrees right here. As you can see, it's going to be chilly with 13-mile-an-hour winds. So on Saturday, again, it's going to be cloudy, and it's only getting colder, folks. So for those of you who are trick-or-treating, I would definitely recommend maybe putting on a little bit heavier costume, maybe a onesie. There's also going to be some winds there as well, so again, break out that windbreaker. And for that Sunday, if you're standing in and watching some football during the day, watching your team play, it's going to be 48 degrees and partly cloudy with just some slight winds there. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty chilly weekend. I know hopefully that there is no snow during the night, so hopefully we have to deal with that and our first snowfall is not going to come. But that looks like that's going to be your weather for the weekend. So enjoy your October weekend. And now here's Michael Field with this week's interview.
Thanks, Jordan. Today we're here with Marcus Karstens of the Marcus Karstens Fantasy Football Show. How are you doing today, Marcus?
Good. Thank you, Michael, for having me, interviewing me. I appreciate it.
So what is a podcast?
Well, a podcast is a digital audio file that's recorded, and it's put onto the internet, and it's just audio, so it's just, my voice speaking.
Right.
And
So what got you into creating your podcast and getting the process rolling?
Well, I've always had an interest in sports, and I just recently found out that I could, have my own show, and kind of at the Com Studies Club meeting is when I found out that, I could be on the radio and have my own show, and and I really wanted to do that because I have a great passion and love sports.
So your podcast is about sports then. What exactly about sports does it cover?
It's specifically just fantasy football, so that's my show right now is just specifically on fantasy football.
And have you been doing it since the start of the season?
I just started doing it. This past week was my second week doing it.
Okay, so this will be your third show coming up this week.
Yes.
And when does that air?
On Mondays from 8 to 9 p.m. So listen in, everyone, from 8 to 9 p.m. on Mondays.
So what is it about fantasy football that interests you so much enough to create a podcast about it and broadcast it to so many people?
Well, for I think it's been 4 years now, I've been in a fantasy football league. My friends wanted me. I have some friends in lacrosse that got me into joining it, and ever since I've joined it, I've just loved it, and I've fallen in love with it.
So what is it exactly is the composition of your show? What type of subjects in regards to fantasy football do you cover?
So I give advice on like what quarterbacks to start weekly. So like this past week, I talked about how well Dak Prescott did, for example, and just kind of stated quarterbacks that I like for each week, running backs that I like for a week, wide receivers, tight ends. Those are kind of the four main positions that I cover and talking about.
So what kind of work goes into making this podcast? What do you have to prepare for the week, and what is really the hardest part of creating this podcast?
Well, I just go onto ESPN and my Yahoo leagues and kind of see, okay, like for example, I checked on my phone to see how many points Ezekiel Elliott had in my Yahoo league. So then I found out it was 42 points this past week. So then I said, Ezekiel Elliott in my league, my Yahoo league got 42 fantasy points, and I advised starting him, for this week. So kind of information like that I put in.
Right. So how much time do you put into creating these podcasts? Is it a really difficult thing to do?
No, not really at all. I can find that information pretty quickly and, organize it in the way that I like it, and it probably takes me about 2 to 3 hours to do that.
So is this relative to what career you want to pursue in the future?
Yes, definitely, because I want to do sports broadcasting, and I love sports and football, and I've loved it since I was a little kid and been interested in it, and I played baseball in high school, and so I've had some hands-on experience playing sports as well.
That's great. Well, I'm glad that you came on the show today. Stay tuned. David Gasper will be right back with sports, but first we're going to take a look at the adorable Perfect Pets on this week's edition of Perfect Pets.
Hey there, I'm Sienna. I'm one energetic girl who needs a lot of exercise. I'd love to go for a run with you.
Hi, I'm Violet. I'm a sweet, gentle 11-year-old girl who's still young at heart. I only have 3 legs, but my heart is twice the normal size.
Well, hey there, I'm Lance. I'm one little guy who just loves exploring. But I'd really love to explore my new forever home.
Hello, I'm Mystic. I'm a little shy at first, but when I warm up, I love to play, and I'm looking for my forever owner.
To find out more about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Again, the phone number for the Cooley Region Humane Society is 781-4014. This weekend, the UWL football team took on number 3 ranked UW Oshkosh without their starting quarterback, Tarek Yagi, who left last week's game against Whitewater with a shoulder injury. Backup Drew David got the start in his place and threw for 414 yards with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. The Eagles went back and forth with Oshkosh in the first half and went into halftime tied at 21. After scoring to start the second half, the Eagles gave up 21 unanswered points to the Titans and ended up losing 42-28. Nick Holcomb led the team in receiving with 15 catches for 190 yards, and Jalen Clark led the team in rushing with 13 carries for 46 yards. While it may have been a sad homecoming weekend for the football team, the 1992 National Championship team was in town for the 25-year reunion. Former head coach Roger Herring, who the football stadium is named for, was on hand to visit with his championship squad. This weekend, the Eagles travel to Platteville to take on the Pioneers Saturday at 1 p.m. It's time to congratulate UWL's women's soccer team as they went undefeated in conference play en route to their third WIAC regular season championship title in school history. The Eagles earned a 2-0 victory over UW-Whitewater last weekend. Alex Cording gave the Eagles an early strike, scoring in just the 3rd minute of the game, off a corner kick from Cassie Handrick. Later, in the 58th minute, Cording had the assist this time, setting up Margaret Herrings for the goal that put the final nail in the coffin for Whitewater. The next day, the team took on MSOE and rode an excellent first half to victory. The Lady Eagles scored 3 goals in the first half behind an impressive performance from forward Maya Schmidt. Maddie Granos and Caitlin Viars also added goals in a 4-2 victory over MSOE. The soccer team's final game of the regular season is this Saturday at home against UW Oshkosh at 2 p.m. With a win against Oshkosh, the Eagles can finish the season with a 16-1-2 record on the season before the conference tournament starts. Next Tuesday, the 31st. The UWL women's volleyball team earned a sweep over 9th-ranked UW-Whitewater last night. The Eagles took the game in 3 sets, winning 25-22, 25-15, and 25-19. Lacrosse is now 18-6 overall on the season and are undefeated in 6 conference games. The Eagles took a 15-4 lead in the opening set, but the Warhawks went on an 18-6 run to take a 22-21 lead before the Eagles were able to come back and win. In the second set, Lacrosse never trailed, while in the third set, Whitewater held a 19-18 lead before the Eagles went on a 7-point run to finish out the game. Hallie Barnabo served the final 6 points. Stephanie Hank led the Eagles with 10 kills, and Madison Entiger had 29 assists. The Lady Eagles had 10 team blocks on the night, with Jessica Jablonski getting in on 6 of them. This victory clinches at least a share of the WIAC Conference title for UWL. It is their 3rd straight conference championship and the 12th in school history. The Eagles can win the conference outright with a victory over UW-Stevens Point this Saturday in Mitchell Hall at 2 p.m. UWL also secured the top seed for the WIAC Championship Tournament beginning on Tuesday, October 31st. And that's all for this week's sports.
Wow, that actually sounds great. They're doing really well, the women's volleyball team.
2 new conference champions. And
wow, that's great. Well, we heard a lot about Halloween today. What are you guys doing for Halloween?
Ooh. I think I'm going to go as Harry Potter for like the 10th year.
Harry Potter, nice. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I haven't even worked out a costume yet, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It's getting down to the wire. You might want to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to do that fairly soon.
Yeah, me and my friend, we're going to go as Arthur and Buster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be,
that's definitely a fun one.
Classic.
Yeah. Well, it looks like that's probably going to... Oh, okay. Well, we heard a lot about, I don't know, the world today. What do you guys think about the way President Trump is handling the Puerto Rico situation that we talked about earlier?
Oh.
Yeah. All right, never mind. That's a bit of a complex topic to get in right at the end of the show. So thanks for watching WMCM's Week in Review. Make sure to join us next Thursday at 4:30 right here on Campus Channel 200 and Digital Cable Channel 989.